Well, one solution that they're going to have for the so-called fiscal cliff, I can guarantee it. There's no doubt about it in any respect. They're just going to raise the debt ceiling or just get rid of the debt ceiling and just keep going more debt as long as somebody buys it. So the fiscal cliff probably will not affect the economy as bad as some people think in a lot of ways because they can avoid it that way. But to me, that only thing means is like I don't know why would people would probably more avoiding the dollar, and the smarter money is on gold and silver. I know it's being suppressed somewhat, but that's my guess. I can't really say that for sure. I don't buy all the rumors out there about that type of stuff, but yeah, I can guess that pretty much there is some kind of suppression going on in the metals. It seems like with all the inflation that we've had out here in real terms, things that people buy, food and gasoline, they're going up. So, it's just how they measure it. So I think gold and silver should have been going up a little bit more than that in the last year. But there's one curveball that's going to be coming up that's going to bring gold and silver up. It's caused the depreciation of the Chinese yuan. Now, this is a stock ticker you can buy. I used to have it a long time ago, CYB. Wisdom Tree Dreyfus Chinese yuan. And the Chinese yuan has been strengthening the last couple months. And actually today, their time, because it's like yesterday or tomorrow, it's actually Monday over there. It's already moved up 93 basis points today. Well, it's Sunday night, but it's Monday over there. So this is what actually is going to drive down the U.S. dollar. The appreciation of the yuan. They've been talking about this for quite some time. Well, not like years. I'm talking about months. They've actually, at the beginning of the year, 2012, all the signs were out there that they're going to looking to appreciate the yuan, and they're going to come out with all this garbage about currency wars and all that type of stuff. So that, in a given, is that the dollar is going to go down against real assets. So gold and silver is going to be a good bet. Now, I always said to check Kid Dynamite's blog site, and he has out here a rhetorical question for silver bugs. He posted this on November 9th, 2012, and I'll post a link where it is. I think people should read this type of stuff. But they always say that there's not enough physical silver out there to meet. That's like the spot price should be higher because there's really not enough physical silver out there. Well, he's pointing on his chart with this white line, and he says that's right where Sprott was made the announcement that he's going to buy a few $100 million worth of real physical silver. Why didn't the price of silver move up on the announcement? It's a good question. Because there's enough silver out there, really. You're not going to, the little people aren't going to be able to buy up all the silver and drive, cause JP Morgan to crash. He went out, here's another thing on here. I'm not going to really read it, everything, but I'm going to recommend that people read this that are into silver. Debunking misleading silver posts with pure fact. Basically, he's talking about the different funds that are out there. You always hear like SOV, you can't trust it. It's got no silver, it's all paper. You hear that from the top bloggers like BJF and all this crap. He's always saying that shit. Well, read the article, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into like a million details out there. But Sprott keeps his silver at the Canadian vault, the government owns or whatever the hell it is. So, if all that, it's suspect, you could say Sprott stuff's suspect too. Really. But, why is this, just use a little logic. When you have constant rumors that the only fund out there you can trust is Sprott's funds, or pretty much only his, and all the other ones are no good, who's putting out the rumors? And who's complicit in putting out those rumors? Just think about it. There's plenty of people, plenty of people. And, who has to benefit by it? Eric Sprott. That's the guy I keep seeing that sold his silver on April 28th, 2011, right there at the height. Then he sold the rest of it on August and September when it was all over $40 an ounce. Pretty smart. Yet we're hearing all these stories. It's going up to 100. interviews all over the place. Yeah, it's going to go up to 100. Lindsey Williams telling you it's going to go to 75 to 100 that year. Famous bloggers calling for 75 to $100. Really? You smell something really screwed up here? I know there's going to be people who are going to be hate me for saying this, but I don't really care about those people, to tell you the truth. Either they're crazy, high, they don't want to listen, they got like a religious cult belief in silver in their head. I don't give a damn. Or maybe they're just working for a physical silver conspiracy that doesn't want the truth to come out. Because I could call that as much a conspiracy as anything that's put out there against J.P. Morgan that's unfounded, really. You know, the whole theory about the short position and everything. I don't know. Who gives a shit, really? You know, I'm only interested in the silver going off. That's really what it comes down to. And, you know, the whole deal with Max Kaiser endorsing Sprott as, you know, a silver vigilante. Yeah. You know what? I don't know. You know, people don't want to believe it, but I smell something rotten. But I don't feel like bad that I have silver. Not in the least. I know it's going up. I mean, the only reason I understand that silver's going to go up too is because Sprott owns plenty of it too, and he's in that market. He's also in the stocks. But I also smell a lot of BS stories out there too. So that's, you know, that was really my own point. You know, there is propaganda out there and a lot of falsities regarding the markets of silver, how much supply there is, how much demand, and all this kind of garbage. It's really, I would just figure that they want to keep the market hot and heavy, so when the next time comes up and where it's driven up a lot, they want a bunch of suckers buying at highs, and they're going to tell them no matter how high it goes, it's going to go more, and the smart people are going to be selling off and waiting for it to crash and buy back in again. That's what they're going to do. So, my update, though, about this, though, is I think on the fiscal cliff, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, but the way out of it is to raise the debt ceiling or just get rid of the debt ceiling. Why have a ceiling if you can just keep raising it, right? So, that's really what the consensus is. It's really the Democrats and Republicans are all agreeing on that. And, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out when the hell did the government actually stick with a budget. But somehow, I don't think that's going to be good for the bond rating, you know, the U.S. debt rating. You know, and if they ever downgrade that sometime, they could. I mean, the election's over with now. I mean, you know, maybe it's very politically incorrect to downgrade the debt in the year of an election. But now that the election's over, you know, the Moody's has been saying, you know, if they don't keep within fiscal budgets and they don't like stop the spending and all that type of stuff and getting into more and more debt, they're going to downgrade the debt. So that's going to come about, and then it's going to drive gold up. So there is a safety out there. It is gold and silver. I'm not a pump and dumper. I just realized what's going on. It's a lot of truth to it. But I think people ought to be very, and also the Chinese yuan is being appreciated. There's no doubt about that too. But people in the silver community, they should watch very carefully. Like, well, Sprott obviously is not going to lose money. He's buying more silver or whatever the hell he's doing. He's heavily into it, so he's in the right area. I mean, just like people are into gold, but there is a lot of myths out there that, you know, it's almost like, is this guy trying to do anybody a favor, really? Not necessarily. He's trying to make himself rich. So that's my word on that type of deal, you know. And there is a lot of myths out there in the silver world. So I'm going to post a link for Kid Dynamite's world. You can read it, maybe hate him for it, but you know, he's just presenting facts. He's just presenting facts. And you know, 90% of this crap, I don't really like talking about this silver as much because it's really like buy it. It's probably going to be some 2 or 3 years more before you really start seeing the really big gains or whatever the hell it is. And the charts don't mean nothing that much because you're really going to be holding it a little longer. Anyway, in my case, I'll probably sell a little bit if I see crazy gains. But it's really, you know, it's not time to sell yet. It's not time to sell. People into physical silver aren't day traders. So I don't even know what the hell the deal is with the charts. It's really stupid, to tell you the truth. So, but in the meantime, just to have a little affirmation that the investment's correct, the debt ceiling is going to be raised. I almost put a 100% guarantee on that. That's not going to be good for the U.S. dollar. They're going to downgrade the debt, and the Chinese yuan has already been strengthening the last 2 months, and it's strengthened today. In other words, in their time, it's tomorrow, so it's already strengthened 93 basis points today. So I mean that's the current news on that type of stuff. But I behoove people to actually look into all these myths that are being thrown around by these silver bloggers. I don't know what the hell their purpose is. Really, it's a bunch of nonsense. Not everything in the world is going to go down that's on a piece of paper. It's like if I have a deed to a land, or I have title to a car, let me put it that way, or title to anything, and I say, well, I have a piece of paper. Well, I have an asset, don't I? You know what? The world works like that. Like stock certificates and everything, you have a share in the company too, right? The company's producing. Say it's an agricultural company. Say it's a natural gas company. Oh, it's because it's paper. It's not paper. The paper represents a share in that. So, I mean, there's a lot of freaking wacky stories out there, and that's one of the main reasons. My background is mainly finance and accounting. And, when I hear this crap, and all the people that believe some of these bullshit that's being thrown around, I have a very strong impetus to get on here and talk. So that's really where it comes from. I don't. It's I guess as long as people don't understand what's going on, I'm going to keep talking until they figure it out. But a lot of people are running agendas on YouTube and in bloggers and all this type of stuff. I mean, not good agendas for the average person that thinks he's being told some good shit stuff. They're not. They got other agendas going, various reasons. But just recommend you read Kid Dynamite's blog here a little bit because he just put some more stuff out about silver, and the guy is just using facts, just facts. I mean, not saying it's a bad investment, but it's like the exaggerations from the bloggers. I don't know what. It's like a religious cult. It's ridiculous. So, but anyway, you're going to see the prices of silver going up here, I'm pretty sure of it. I think it's going to have a strong finish out for the rest of the year. It's the debt ceiling's going to be raised. Chinese yuan is going up more. That means U.S. dollar is going to start going down against real assets.